Hi, it's Heather from Loving Our Age, and hey, I'm on the aging journey right along with you, and I just don't want to look older than I actually am. So what I want to do today is I want to show you 12 makeup tips. Now these are ways to not look old, well, at least look a little bit more youthful, let's say that. They're in my own opinion, of course, but they're also makeup tips to really help you with hooded eyes, age spots, disappearing eyebrows, disappearing eyelashes, disappearing lips even. Where's the color in our lips these days? But I'm so excited to bring this video to you, and I can put on a full makeup in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to be going from a bare face, no makeup on, and to a whole, well, as I look right now. So anyway, the first thing I have to do is take all my makeup off. So, you know what? I really do not like being public with no makeup on, but you can really tell I'm just going to apply this makeup for you, and you can watch me how I put on my daytime makeup. And this is the only way to do it, is to really show you. So first of all, first mistake, you are not using a primer on your face, and I'm going to have links to all of these products underneath the video description and also in the comments. So this is Strivectin's primer. It's called Blur Factor. What it does, you put a little bit on, and then I've already put it on. You get it right into the creases and the crevices. It's a cream. You just put it on like a night cream, and it gets right in there. What is it doing? Well, first of all, it's laying a foundation. It's a primer, like a wall primer, and it's getting into all the little cracks and crevices and giving you a smoother skin. So that's a great way to start. All right, so that's the #1 mistake, not using that. #2 mistake is we're trying to conceal all of these things on our face, and we're using too heavy of a concealer, and sometimes even just too heavy of a hand. So what I like to use is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost, and this is just the greatest concealer for underneath your eyes, okay? Because if you put it on too thick, or you have too thick of a concealer, it's not going to work. So I'm just going, by the way, I'm just going to do half of my face, and then we're going to stop. I'm going to do the other half, and that way this video isn't going to go like an hour long. But anyway, I just want to make sure that you can see what I'm doing here just with the Hydro Boost, and that's all I do with that. Just put it under there. It's a very, very light concealer. All right, we have that concealer on. Now we gotta hide some of those dark spots, and that is where I use the It Bye Bye Under Eye. And look at how little of an amount I use, just that amount. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start covering up my dark spots. Now, yes, I try to, put the vitamin C on them, but see this big one here? Even on our hands, let's make sure that we get rid of them. All right, and there you go. Now you can't see it. It's gone. So also with this under eye, Bye Bye Under Eye, see these marionette lines that I have here? Well, I'm just going to put a little bit in here to lighten them up. And then when I put the foundation over top, you see it actually lightens them from one look to another. I'm going to go in here in this marionette line. Again, I'm only doing one side of my face, and all these dark spots that I have, I'm covering them up. Okay, so we make sure that those are all covered up before we put on our foundation. All right, I've hidden a lot of those dark spots. Let's start with the foundation. Now this has to be all dry, but I love, okay, so the mistake, #4 mistake is wearing that pancake makeup, where you just slather it on and it looks really dry, or it doesn't have a shine to it. Well, I love, let me just show you there, the Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing foundation. I've been using this from Shiseido for years now. It is absolutely beautiful. And I think my color is 150, and it's called Lace. So what I do, I put a couple of squirts on my hand like that, and then I use a little applicator like this one here, a little sponge applicator. I'm going to do my whole face for this one. And there, very, very I'm not putting it on too thick, but it's got a nice shine to it. It doesn't look pancakey. And let me just sort of keep going here. Now, it might look a little bit light. You might say to yourself, that looks a little bit light, Heather. But I'm going to be putting on blush and contour and that sort of thing. So it actually is the color of my skin. So there we go. And I go lighter underneath here, but on this side, what we want to do is we want to have the same kind of texture throughout our entire face. So there you go, and that is done. The next mistake, and a lot of us women, we have the thin eyebrows. So we think to ourselves, well, we have thin eyebrows, so we might as well just draw a line. Have you seen that, where somebody just draws a thin line there and calls that an eyebrow? Well, that's not an eyebrow. And also, a lot of women, when they have the silver hair, they're doing the eyebrow in silver. And again, it just doesn't look natural. It's making you look older. So how do we remedy this? And you know, I love this. This is the Aesthetica Brow Kit. It's absolutely fabulous. And what you get in here is we get a bunch of stencils, but this one is the natural arch, which I really, really like. It also comes with powders. There's a spoolie in there to brush up your eyebrows before you get started. But let me just show you how this works. You can see that I don't have much of an eyebrow right now, and I'm going to be using a brown shadow on this. Let me just hold on. I want to make sure that I'm actually getting on my brow here, and nope, I wasn't. So let's just sort of adjust that. All right, I'm back, and what we're going to do is we're just going to fill it in. And that's all you do. You fill in the stencil. And even if you don't have a real great eyebrow, and there's a little spot here that I just fill in. Da-da-da! Look what I've got here. I've got real eyebrows, and they do look natural. Now, my eyebrows are looking a little bit dark right now, but once I have my eyeshadow on, it's going to look a lot better. All right, let's take a look at number 6. The 6th mistake is putting on a beige powder like this. Now, what a lot of people do is, you know, the concealer underneath, it's kind of greasy, so we want to make sure we put a powder on, but please put on a powder like this. This is a translucent powder, and what it will do is by Bye Bye Pores by IT Cosmetics, and what it's going to do is just going to dry things out there without making it look cakey and pancakey. So I'm just going to put a little bit here. And because I don't want to have, you know, the opposite of raccoon eyes, like the whites underneath my eyes, I'm going to put a little bit of blush on here, and that powdered blush is going to go on a lot smoother than if I had kind of greasy under eyes. Number 7 mistake, you're not having a rosy blush. So let me just show you, oh, this is NARS. It's just a fabulous blush. And again, I'm going to have the links underneath the video description and also in the comments. And if you want to see all my makeup choices, just go to amazon.com/shop/awesomeover50 and check out the rest of my makeup and even my skincare. But okay, so we've got this, and we're just going to put it a little bit here. Now remember, I told you about underneath the eyes. So what's left over, I'm going to put underneath my eyes here. I'm also going to put just a little bit here, because I want to kind of just give the rosy glow all over. And that's what I've done. Mistake number 8 is you're not contouring your face. This is going to make you look more youthful. And I use Park Avenue Princess by Tarte. It's actually a bronzer, but I absolutely love it for contouring. So what we're going to do on this side of my face is I'm just going to find my natural contour, but I'm going to brush it on with a brush. You don't want to just look like this, right? And I'm also going to do a little bit of contouring up here. And I'm also going to do a little bit of contouring on my nose, because as we age, our nose looks bigger. And then these jowls, oh my gosh. Well, do you know that a little bit of contouring will really, really help that? People don't really notice it, but it makes you look much much less jowly, I guess. Anyway, look at the difference between the two sides with the contouring. You know, it just really kind of emphasizes my cheekbones, and of course cheekbones make you look youthful. And number nine mistake is you're not using a highlighter. What? This is my secret weapon, guys. This is what makes me look youthful. It's like one of the main ingredients. It is by e.l.f. It's called Moonlight Pearls. And I used to watch the celebrities and go, how come their face is so pretty and youthful looking? Well, it's this. I just put this on. Look at that. Do you see what I mean? Like all of a sudden I look like I'm more youthful. I put a little bit up here as well. And what it does is it just gives us that healthy kind of shine to our face. And when we smile, our whole face just brightens up. So secret weapon, guys. All right, we got to work on these eyes now. And isn't this the most beautiful palette? This is by Urban Decay. It's called Naked 3. It's a little on the pricey side, but you get everything. You get natural, you've got purples, which I really love, and also the highlighter for on your eyes as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I put on, this is a daytime eye makeup, but the mistake that a lot of women do for the next mistake is they don't do an upswing. What happens as we age is our eyes get kind of heavier looking, they get droopier, hooded, and we got to do an upswing. So let me just show you how we would do that. It's got a great brush with it as well here. But I'm going to use this color right here, and I'm going to highlight my eyelid like that. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit up here. Okay, so I've got that all there. Now I'm going to use this part of the brush, and I'm going to do purple for myself today because I really like the purple. And let me just look at the colors here. I got to see them a little bit closer. Yeah, so let's do, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I think I'm going to do this color here, and then I'm going to do a brown. So it's a little bit more natural for you guys. So let me just do this so I can show you. I'm just going to go in to the eye like this, and I sweep it out. And what that's going to do is, it doesn't look great right now, but it's going to give me a little bit more of an upturned eye. All right, so next what I need to do, I got to find out my brushes here. I want to make sure that I get into the crease. I'm going to use a darker brown for this. This is going to look really, really natural. And I'm going to go in a minute. Doesn't look natural now, right? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch to this, and I'm going to go right into the crease. All right, so that is going to help your hooded eyes as well, because you're going to look like you have a natural crease right there. And for underneath my eyes, I'm just going to use, to see this black here? I'm not using an eyeliner, okay? That's another big mistake. I'll talk about that in just a second. But I just want to go a little bit with powder underneath here, again with the upsweep. Okay, let's talk about the eyeliner. Please, what's going to make you look aged is going eyeliner, eyeliner, eyeliner everywhere. It actually is going to close up your eyes. So you do not want to do that. Okay, guys, don't do that. And then what we need to do at this particular point, I'm looking for it. I got all my makeup in front of me, and I'm kind of saying, I kind of changed things around a little bit. So we want to use a brush like this. We want to blend. We want to blend. We want this to look like our natural eyes. But what you're going to notice as I'm doing this is this eye looks more closed, and this eye is really opening up, and it's also sweeping up. And so that's what we do. And once I get the mascara on, it's just going to look so much more natural. But blend, blend, blend. Some people blend like a windshield wiper. If you want to do that, you can do that as well. Okay, so I do use a liner, and what I only use the liner for is just a gentle uptick. I just have a gentle, and sometimes I sort of blend it with this here. Can you see that kind of gentle uptick that I have there? And let me just see if I did it right. It just brings the eye up. And again, if you look at the two eyes together, I don't even have any mascara on, but when you see the two eyes together, this is more of a sweep up. And a lot of women, they just lather on the eyeshadow and they're not sweeping up, and we got to get that droopiness of our eyes kind of out of the picture there. So you know what, I think I'm going to talk next about mascara, because it's the next mistake. A lot of women, we're losing the eyebrows, but we're also losing the eyelashes, and so I use the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Primer. This is the primer for mascara, and it's just fabulous. It goes on white, so I'm just going to put it on here right now. But it's going to help me to make my eyelashes look bigger, and it's just a fabulous product. Now after that has dried, what I'm going to use is my CoverGirl Exhibitionist. This is a black brown. It's a little more subtle than just the black, and it's the mascara. And I'll tell you something, I've used $50 mascaras. This is like, I think it's less than $10, or it's around $10. This is fabulous. It's just as good as the high-end ones, and it's got a lovely applicator on it, as you can see. What I do when I apply mascara is I just sort of put it on one coat, let it dry, and then another coat. So now I'm putting this over the primer. So let's go with that. Just one coat. And I'm also going to put it a little bit underneath my eyes. Like that. Just do the end a little bit. All right, now it's just there. Okay, now let's take a look at both eyes. This is just one coat. I usually put in 3. You can see the difference between this eye and this eye. Wow, it really just opened up the eye, and the mixture of the mascara and the way that I put on the eyeshadow really does, doesn't it, make the two eyes, this one looks more youthful, and it's more uplifted. And with the power of film, presto changeo, I've done both eyes now. All right, we're missing one thing, and as we age, our lips, I don't know what happens to them, but they just seem to fade away, and like the entire look looks good, but I still look older because of my lips. And what I'm going to suggest to a lot of you is, you don't want to be putting on a lipstick and then putting on lipstick again 5 minutes later, and you want to stay on lipstick. And this is one that I've been using for years now, and it's the NYX XXL lingerie lipstick, but it stays on. And I mean, maybe after I've had a meal, I will have to put on a little bit more lipstick. But what I really like about it is that it's made to stay on. So let me just show, and look at the applicator on this. I can even do a lip liner with this applicator. So I'm going to do this. See that? It looks like a lip liner, right? This. I'll do my whole lip. We don't have half a lip. And this is like a peachy color. I like this color. But they have a whole range of colors for you. Okay. There you go. So now I have some color on my lips. And I let that dry for a few minutes. And they also have, NYX has a buttercream gloss that looks real. I'll just put it on now for you. But usually I'd let this dry a little bit longer. And it just adds that little bit of shine to your lips. It also really helps to moisturize them a little bit, because after a while this does feel a little bit drying. So anyway, I'm not quite finished yet. First of all, let's take a look at a before and after picture of me. So let's take a look at my eyes in the after picture. You can see that I've really remedied the hooded eye situation. They're a lot brighter. The eyebrows are also framing my eyes. That's nice too. And the overall complexion, it's all even and toned. Now in just a second, I'm going to be doing an inspirational message for you, but if you like videos by a woman who is on the aging journey with you on makeup, and also I do a lot of fashion videos, don't forget to subscribe. There's a button down there somewhere, and don't forget to click on the information bell. Wait a second, it's a notification bell. All right, so I don't say this a lot, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This month I'm going to be 69 years old. Oh. That means I'm 12 months away from 70. And, you know, I put on my makeup. I've got it down to about 5 minutes now to put on my makeup. And I feel great. Like, a lot of times when women get around 70, you know, they're like, oh, why bother? You know, like, why bother? Like, but you know what? I think we should bother. And I know it's a personal thing, so it's just my opinion, right? But I think that when I leave the door and I feel like I've put on my 5 minutes of makeup, I feel good. I feel really, really good. And I know I've upswung my hooded eyes. I know I've covered those nasty dark spots. I know that I have an even complexion. I know my eyes are bright and lighter because I have on a little bit of mascara. I have eyebrows. I've got lipstick on, and I'm ready to take on the world. You know, I have a little saying, and it's, instead of feeling invisible, feel invincible. And I think we owe that also to the younger generation of women. You know, my daughters, I have 2 daughters, and both of them have told me that they have friends in their 30s that are having like the needles. You know, I've never had needles. I've never had cosmetic surgery. I just rely on this makeup that's in front of me. So, you know what? I think 5 minutes and a little bit of makeup, as my grandmother used to say, a little bit of blush and a little bit of lipstick, and I think that's just another way to be loving our age.